to Israel. That is very big news. A small number of U.S. troops being deployed there. We can also confirm while the U.S. already has an aircraft carrier in the region, at this point, they're not going to send another carrier group, just sticking with the one.
Hezbollah says it's fired more than 100 rockets into Israel in response, but there have been no reports of damage. And the Commerce Department is proposing a new rule targeting the sale of car technology made in China.
Chinese-made cameras, microphones, and GPS systems would be banned under a new proposed rule from the Commerce Department. The concern is whether that technology could pose a national security threat, and it comes just a few months after the Biden administration ordered an investigation into that very topic. There are not a lot of Chinese-made cars on American roads. Earlier this year, the Biden administration announced a 100% tariff on vehicles built in China. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. We are looking good on this Monday. Wall Street is up across the board. The Dow is up 58 points to 42,121. S&P 500 is up 11 points to 5,714. And the NASDAQ is up 23 points to 17,971. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Stay close. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Sounding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You know Diamonds Direct for their exquisite diamonds and fine jewelry. What about luxury watches? With a hand-picked collection by the industry's top timepiece experts, skip the waiting list and get the timepiece you've been eyeing right away. And this month only, enjoy 0% interest for 5 years on all the top brands. Imagine owning a $15,000 luxury watch for just $250 a month. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct, where you can shop direct for diamonds and watches.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
For love of the game.
But there's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
And love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Bucks stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
When you need to sell quickly, choose Grandview to buy your home, even if it's less than perfect. Don't waste time and money on finding a real estate agent and dealing with showings. We'll buy your home completely as is. No repairs, not even a clean out. Grandview Homes gives you an offer in hours, and we close on the day you choose in as little as 10 days with no closing costs. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Another game played without Jordan Love and another win for the Green Bay Packers.
5-man pressure. Levis goes down again. Lucky number 7 for the Packers defense. 7 sacks in Nashville.
An 8-sack, 3-turnover performance by the defense, complementing a nearly flawless performance from quarterback Malik Willis and a 30-14 road win over the Titans. The Packers return home to face the undefeated Vikings in Week 4. The Milwaukee Brewers salvaged the final game of a 4-game series with the Diamondbacks, rallying from an 8-0 hole to earn a 10-9 win. The Brewers are enjoying an off day before traveling to Pittsburgh for a 3-game series with the Pirates. That starts tomorrow night. Let's check out those roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. Kenosha County today has been the problem spot, and that remains right now. Kenosha County, 4194 north, about a mile beyond the state line. It's a bit of a mess. It's getting better, though. It's not as bad as it was during the 11 o'clock hour or the noon hour. But here's what's happening. You've got 2 right lanes that are blocked due to repairs. So because of the crews out there working on the roads, 2 lanes blocked. Traffic is slow going, but it's looking a little bit better. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that hopefully they can get their repair work done quickly and open up those lanes. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy, cooler. Tonight, mostly cloudy. We do have a chance for some rain later. It's going to be isolated, though. Not everybody's going to see that. Low of 57 tonight. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. We do have a chance for more rain, mainly south. High of 70 tomorrow. Then Wednesday and Thursday, it's going to be sunny. Both days sunny and a high of 75. Friday, partly cloudy, high of 74. It's currently 66 degrees in Racine, 68 in Sheboygan, and 66 in Milwaukee. Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:09.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State, and here are your hosts, Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Good afternoon. Coming up today, veterans in Toma were denied benefits based off of a misdiagnosis by one doctor. And then last week, they got some justice in the form of $4.2 million from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. So we're going to have more on that story coming up next. But then, do you feel like the media and political candidates are talking about your main concerns in any kind of substantial way? Well, an election year project spearheaded by the La Follette School of Public Affairs and Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is working to make sure your voice is heard this election through their Main Street Agenda project. So we're going to be talking to one of the organizers about what they've learned so far.
And then in the second hour, we will, of course, spin the state. And Wisconsin got a report card from the American Society of Civil Engineers on our infrastructure. How did we do? Are we above average, below average? Do we need to repeat? Are we remedial in our infrastructure? Well, one of the co-authors of that study will join us to give us a breakdown of the grades. And if you think about Green Bay and the things to do in Green Bay, how many could you come up with? Well, we will talk to the author of a new book who came up with 100 things to do in Green Bay, and she says she didn't have room for all of them.
What?
I know. We'll figure it all out before we get out of here today.
All right, but first, I survived.
Yeah, when last we left to catch people up, we left on Friday. You were going to rappel down the side of a building.
Yes.
As part of a charity fundraiser.
Yes.
You are here.
I am here.
And I saw the video, so spoiler alert, Kristen did survive.
I did survive.
How was
maybe
it?
Much to the chagrin of some, but
No, you're here. It was great. Well, I'll tell you what. The one thing that struck me, I saw you coming down the building, and you were going pretty quick. But then Frankie's response when you were on the ground was priceless, because she was like, "Oh, my mom doesn't have a split skull." She ran right over to you. That was great.
That was pretty cute. I was pretty proud of my husband for capturing that. But it was very cool, and I've gone skydiving, and I feel like I've done a fair amount of risky things. Not necessarily a adrenaline seeker, but also not scared of a lot. And there was something about climbing up. You get to the roof of the Milwaukee Athletic Club, and then you're climbing over like the air conditioning. You're going up ladders. Like you're getting even higher than. Like you're getting to the top of the building.
Because that part you didn't know until the day before when we were talking to our guest about that. So that was a surprise even to you.
Yeah. And so when you're that high, and my stomach was starting to do some flips when we were up there. And but I will say the group that the Historic Milwaukee partnered with, Over the Edge, everyone you interact with from that company was so professional. They make you feel so safe. And truly, the equipment they use is kind of idiot-proof.
Okay, well, that's good.
And so, like, they have one rope that's connected to a brake that when you're doing your training, they show you, like, if you go too fast, it's just going to stop you.
Oh, okay, well, that's good.
And then the part that you control is just, like, this little lever that you pull down, and lets you go down.
You drop.
And so, but that feeling of you're facing the person who's walking you through it, and you get up on the side of the building, and you put your heels over the edge of the building, And that feeling, it's the most unnatural thing I think I've ever done in my life.
Well, yeah, because you're not even looking where you're going.
No.
It's like, it's the ultimate trust fall.
And he says, pretend that you're sitting in a chair. So you sit down and then you extend your legs out. And then they have you hold your hands out. So you're not holding on to anything. And so we got a picture of that. And they kind of even your weight out a little bit and you hold on the rope. And then you're off.
Now, do they tell you, do they push you? Do they count on you being brave enough
They don't push you at all.
to take the step?
And I think out of everyone that I know that went on Friday, I don't think anyone chickened out.
Okay, well, that's good.
And so I made it down. The only thing I regret is I knew that I wasn't going to look down, but I didn't even really look out that much. Like, I mostly just stared at the building.
Now, you're with that one rope, you're controlling the speed of your descent, right?
And if you go too fast, your brake will stop you.
Right, but it looked like, in the clip you posted, it looked like you were going pretty quick. And
So
maybe that was the final third of the building, maybe?
So Chief Lipsky was the first person to go, and I was still on the ground, and I got to see him come down. And if anyone has met Chief Lipsky, he's a bit of a BSer. So he's a fun person to talk smack to.
Okay.
Because he dishes it out as much as he takes it. And so I think I yelled up because he was going, I was like, I thought you'd be faster at this. Like, you jump into burning buildings. How are you scared? And so he was on the ground when I went, and people were, again, giving him crap. They're like, she's going a lot faster than you. And I think he yelled out, he's like, I think it's because, due to gravity.
Well, that doesn't make sense because he would have dropped a little faster.
Well, I think that was the joke.
Like, oh, okay. I was like, what?
But yeah, so we got to the ground, and then Frankie ran right over to me. My husband yelled out, I'm not a single dad. And so he was very relieved. But I would say, if you have a chance to do, I mean, whether it's off a building, whether it's off a cliff, it was pretty cool. And so they ended up having 35 additional people do it on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Including Mayor Johnson.
Nice.
And so, yeah, so if you want to check out historicmilwaukee.org, both for Doors Open, but you can still donate and to keep Doors Open Milwaukee free.
Yeah.
So you can go to historicmilwaukee.org. And if you want to see any of the pictures of my experience, text RAPPEL, RAPPEL, and we'll send you the link to the little video that I made.
You have left out one of my biggest questions, and it was something we talked about before you left. What about Bango?
I didn't get to see. I saw Bango.
Okay, so
I saw him, and he was there. The last
Okay.
I saw Bango, because it's not like a group sport, right? You're only going down one at a time, and you're only on the roof two at a time.
Okay.
And so the last I saw Bango, I think he was in his gear. But I did not see him, and I actually didn't even see pictures of him going down yet either.
That's
so
why I asked.
They must still be because they had a whole team there as far as Buck's like social media folks. So
How did he get the
some
helmet
video
over
will be
his
coming.
antlers?
I don't know if he wore the helmet.
Oh,
he had all the other stuff on.
Maybe it was under the head.
But and I don't know if he did some flips because like when the training they said like you can Superman it, like you're not going anywhere, like the ropes are not like you don't really need to hold on to anything.
Yeah.
And so if you want to stick your arms out and jump, I mean, at your own risk. And so if Bango's used to doing a little bit more acrobatics than I am, I wonder if he did anything more fun than I did, which is just stare at the wall.
Well, yeah, but the first time down, that makes perfect sense. If you've never done it before and you're a little nervous about it, just go, I'm going to look straight ahead, and then when my feet touch, I know I'm done. And then I can go, oh, yeah, I do it.
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
I would definitely do it again.
Okay.
I would do it again for the purpose of getting to enjoy the view a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Well, we're glad you're back alive and all your bones are intact. That was very good. So it sounds exciting.
It was exciting.
Good.
We'll get you out there next time.
I would love to.
All right.
I've done it before but you had high-tech equipment. I did it with one rope, a spotter on the bottom of the ground. It was run by the Army ROTC when I was in college.
Okay.
We didn't have harnesses. They made us a harness out of rope. So they tied the rope like between my legs around my waist and cinched it. And then there was a guy at the bottom
that seems
spotting.
way less safe.
It probably was, but I survived too. So
you're also still here.
So
all right. Well,
here.
again, if you want to see the video and some of the photos of my experience of rappelling off the Milwaukee Athletic Club, text 855-616-1620, the word rappel, RAPPEL, and we will send you a link to that. And coming back, a story of some good news for veterans.
Yes, thank goodness, after a lot of bad news.
Absolutely. All right, stay with us. It's Spanning the State.
Miss any of the truth on WTMJ?
I represent hitting the ball.
Maybe there's something wrong with me.
Catch the podcast wherever you get your podcasts and catch up on moments like this.
John, if you wanted to come on the show, all you had to do, you didn't have to make Biden quit to come on the show.
And listen to The Truth on WTMJ every Sunday from 7 until 9 with Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas, right here on 620 WTMJ.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Can a local bank provide all the big bank services with the friendliness of a small-town neighbor? Waterstone Bank has been doing it for more than a century. This is your Waterstone Bank, and we're invested in the community, supporting education, women's and youth programs, and honoring our brave veterans and frontline heroes. We're at the heart of it all. Welcome to your Waterstone Bank.
Welcome back, Susan. How can I help you today?
Learn more at WSBOnline.com. That's WSBOnline.com. Member FDIC.
Hey, Wisconsin, Brian Noonan here for El Bandito Yankee Tequila. Get ready to break out the Bandito with El Bandito Yankee. It is the official tequila of game day. 100% Blue Weber agave, award-winning, all-natural, additive-free, and the smoothest tequila Milwaukee, Madison, and Titletown has ever tasted. Get yours today at great spots like La Pina on 3rd Street or your favorite local store. Remember, you always win with the undefeated flavor of El Bandito Yankee Tequila. And for events, recipes, places to pick up a couple of bottles, go to elbanditoyankee.com.
It's Spanning the State. I'm Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan. Before the break, Kristen mentioned that there's a little bit of justice for veterans. I'm always amazed for as much good that happens in this country that we don't treat our veterans better. It should be a shame for everybody. And we all hope that when we're seeking medical attention, we want our doctors to know what they're doing. That's especially important for veterans who suffered a bunch of different unknown illnesses and injuries while they were serving our country.
Mental health issues.
Mental health issues. So Senator Tammy Baldwin's office released a statement last week announcing that the Department of Veterans Affairs has awarded $4.2 million in overdue benefits to about 100 veterans due to faulty exams conducted at the Toma Veterans Affairs Medical Center. How did this happen? Well, there's one doctor who was there, Dr. Mary Jo Lanska. So for more than a year, the Department of Veterans Affairs has been reviewing every disability exam conducted by this doctor because she assessed veterans who were seeking benefits for traumatic brain injuries and service-related injuries. She was denying just about everybody.
And I
don't know if she's just inept. She's been fired, first of all. If she was just inept, if there was some, I don't know what kind of benefit you could get as a physician for denying benefits to veterans. I don't know what it was, but all these brain injury claims and other neurological conditions were denied by her. And so these veterans have lost up to a couple years worth of benefits. So the VA started investigating it because a TV station in Minneapolis reported all these things. And Tammy Baldwin had talked about and called for investigations into this doctor at the Toma facility. So and she did this 2 years ago. Tammy Baldwin was on this 2 years ago, and it took this long. So they went through every diagnosis based on this doctor's faulty diagnosis. I don't know how she was doing it. They identified up to 650 veterans who were wrongly denied disability benefits or negatively affected in some way by this doctor. So they've offered everybody new disability exams. They're reaching out to everybody on this list. They're trying to get these veterans in because, again, it was years worth of benefits that these people were denied.
But it's not even it's benefits, but it's also treatment,
Right.
right? Like it's also like addressing the condition or the injury or what they were actually facing and being basically gaslit, saying, no,
yeah, it's
you're
not,
fine.
yeah, you're okay. But I've heard, and we hear reports all the time about the VA and how difficult it is. And if you're a veteran who's tried to get services at the VA and had either a great experience or a not so great experience, and you want to share your story, 855-616-1620 is the WTMJ Talk and Text line. It seems unbelievable to me. If we, in our job, or in most jobs, if you're that inept for so long, you'd be found out. It shouldn't take a
I guess
special
she was found
investigation.
out.
Well, yeah, but it was after all this time.
I think it's one of those things that's also interesting as far as, like you said before, everyone's entitled to, or we would hope, trust their doctor, right? Like they have the expertise. They're the expert. And I think for decades, you never question the doctor. And now we're realizing that sometimes you got to question the doctor.
Yeah.
And that's not just in VA hospitals, but in general, like getting a second opinion and not necessarily defaulting just because they have those two letters ahead of their name.
And that, you're right. That was always the case growing up. I'd hear my parents and my grandparents, oh, well, the doctor said. And then you get to a certain age, you go, well, yeah, but that doesn't make sense just because the doctor said. And I can't imagine the frustration of a veteran who knows they have something happened to them.
Yeah.
And they know it. And they go to the VA where we're supposed to be taking care of them, and they talk to the doctor, and then, as you say, they're gaslit or they're ignored or they're just said, no, you're not, you're okay. Don't worry about it. So it's rough. And this, again, came from the VA. This was not Tammy Baldwin pushed for it 2 years ago, but the VA is the one who finally made the decision.
They did the investigation,
yes,
right?
They did
and then
the
they're the ones. It's coming from their
it's not
coffers,
right? It's just Tammy Baldwin brought it up 2 years ago because she had heard about reports because people are already texting in. This is all a political thing. In the end, I don't care if it's a political thing or not. These veterans deserve that treatment, deserve those benefits, deserve their care. So I don't care how it gets done, quite frankly, but just clarifying it, this was the VA launched their own investigation, but they only launched it after a TV station did a multi-part story on
investigative
this,
series on
investigative series on it. So, whatever the case, looks like justice is being done. If you're affected by that, the VA says reach out. They, like I said, they are contacting everybody on that list. All right, when we come back, we are going to, there's a big bus tour coming through. Could it be the Grateful Dead?
Speaking of political agendas.
Yes, could it be? Who could it be on this bus? We'll tell you after this on Spanning the State.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
Amish outdoor furniture with poly and wood available. And that poly is the richest of outdoor furniture. It's just about indestructible and will virtually last forever. At Erickson's, we have poly furniture in abundance, so you're guaranteed to see a great selection. The beauty of it is you can put it outside all year round and not worry about it, because the color runs all the way through, so it doesn't fade, and minor nicks and scratches won't hurt the look. Erickson's Landscape Supply. For an abundant selection of poly and wood Amish outdoor furniture, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better selection of metal yard art than we have here at Erickson's. Anything from natural and painted metal signs to painted roosters from 1 to 6 feet tall. Natural steel flying ducks and cattails. Cute little frogs, geckos, pigs, flamingos, and goats. And palm trees. The list is endless. And that's why you come here. Erickson's Landscape Supply, right on Spring Street in Union Grove, where you'll find a fantastic array of artisanal metal yard art. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Or better yet, drive on over and take a gander at the goods.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Ryan Stefanchek. Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchek specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Hey, it's Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry. And last week, Kamala Harris was in Madison. This week, there is a Trump campaign bus rolling through the state.
Wow.
It kicked off this morning. At 10 a.m., they were in Hudson. And then at 1, they were in Altoona. And then at 5 p.m. tonight, they're in Cronenwetter.
Cronenwetter.
I think I'm saying that right. Maybe not.
I won't correct you.
I'm not going to mispronounce her after
get mispronounced around that one.
But yes, and so they are here for 3 days, and a ton of different Republican Trump surrogates out there stumping for former President Donald Trump. It's going to be a 3-day bus tour, and it ends with a town hall in Waukesha on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, we played Jump Around because I'm now curious as far as how they will cater to Wisconsin audiences, because I don't know if you saw this.
I did.
But on Friday at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Kamala Harris played Jump Around.
Smart. Somebody on her staff is doing their research. So what will be on the bus?
I know. What will the bus people, the surrogates on the bus bring that will specifically cater to Wisconsin audience? Maybe we'll find out in a viral video later this week. All right, ABC News and local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. At least 350 people are dead, over 1,000 injured as the Israeli military carries out airstrikes on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon.
We ask residents of Lebanese villages to pay attention to the message and warning published by the IDF and heed them. This is an advance warning for your own safety and the safety of your family.
IDF spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari says they're trying to warn civilians ahead of the strikes as often as possible. The United Nations General Assembly will get underway this week. Tomorrow, President Biden will give what's being described as his farewell address. New evidence in the case against Ryan Routh, the suspect in an apparent assassination attempt on former President Trump. It's a letter in a box sent to a witness in which Routh says he failed in an attempt to take Mr. Trump's life. Back to school for students at Appalachia High in Georgia after the deadly school shooting earlier this month. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. An early morning standoff in Muskego ends with an arrest. Muskego police responded to a home on Adrian Drive just after 3 this morning. Officers were able to safely remove people from the house as a suspect who had multiple firearms barricaded himself in a bedroom upstairs. The 44-year-old suspect eventually surrendered peacefully and was taken to the Waukesha County Jail. No one was hurt. A public health alert for some Wisconsin-made brats. The warning today comes from the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection. Maloney's Bologna in Durand misbranded its wild rice and cheddar cheese brats and wild rice and cranberry brats. Here's the deal. The brats contain wheat, which is a known food allergen, and that warning is missing from the labels. The products were sold at the Maloney's Bologna retail store on or before September 17th. Heads up for families in Middleton. No need to panic if you notice brown water coming out of your taps. Crews are flushing hydrants in various neighborhoods over the next 2 weeks. If you notice the brown water, Public Works crews say just flush the lines, run that cold water for 5 to 15 minutes. That will usually clear it all up. Time for news about your money now. Here's a WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Things are still looking great on Wall Street. Everything is up. The Dow is up nearly 78 points to 42,141. S&P 500 is up 13 points to 5,715. And the NASDAQ is up 26 points to 17,974. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's go ahead right now and check out the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. I did want to let you know about one new crash that just popped up because Kenosha County has been our problem spot. But this one, oh, you know what? Look at that. And just like that, it's like magic. It cleared. So let's tell you about the other problem spot, Kenosha County. This one has been a problem for a few hours now. It's getting a little bit better, but 4194 north, about a mile beyond the Illinois state line. It's messy out there. It's slowing down because there are crews working on repairs on the road. So they have two of the right lanes blocked. Not as bad as it was before, but if you're headed towards Kenosha County, heads up, 4194 north, just about a mile beyond the state line. It is slow going. And here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy and cool. We have a high of 68. Tonight, mostly cloudy. We do have a chance for a little bit of rain. It's going to be isolated, though. Not everybody's going to see it. Low of 57 tonight. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. We do have a chance for rain tomorrow, mainly south. High of 70 tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday, both days sunny skies with a high of 75. Partly cloudy on Friday, high of 74. It's currently 67 degrees in Kenosha, 64 in Port Washington, and 67 in Milwaukee. I'm Jessica Ty. Signing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
I was stuffed up. It was almost like someone put a clothespin over my nose. As an athlete, it did affect my performance. And as I got older, the congestion and poor sleep really took their toll.
Mike's a lifetime athlete. After hearing about Advent, he felt he could finally find a solution to his breathing triangle problems.
With my congestion, the kind of sleep I was getting wasn't allowing me to function the way I wanted to.
When your nose isn't working like it should be, it's going to negatively affect your sleep. And then you really can't be at your best at anything that you're doing.
It's been about 5 years since coming to Advent, and what balloon sinuplasty did for my quality of life, that step I took was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Balloon sinuplasty can help solve your breathing triangle problems, which will help you sleep better, and that's going to help you live a better quality of life.
Unlock your potential. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Does your home need a new defensive coach? Is it prepared for the upcoming wind, cold, rain, and snow? I recommend Siding Unlimited. Can wind and cold get through your windows? Siding Unlimited fixes that. Water and snow a challenge for your roof? Siding Unlimited fixes that too. Is the siding letting the elements through or just looking offensive? Fixing that is Siding Unlimited's first and continuing specialty. When the weather's offense beats your home's defense, call in Siding Unlimited. They're not only the best, they're now a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Their name says siding, but they're so much more. Whatever the challenge, put Siding Unlimited in. See their stuff, siding, windows, roofing, and decks on Instagram or at their unique outside-in showroom in Brookfield. They're waiting for you. What are you waiting for? SidingUnlimited.com.
Hey, it's Kristen Bry. We're inviting you to participate in the WTMJ Fall 2024 Fan Survey. It takes less than 10 minutes to complete, and we want your feedback. To participate, simply text the word survey to the WTMJ talk and text line at 855-616-1620. That's 855-616-1620. And a survey link will be texted back to you. As a thank you for your participation, upon completion of the survey, you will be entered to win a package that includes $2 2024-25 regular season game tickets and an overnight stay at the Pfister.
It is Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry. And in this election year, what does Wisconsin care about?
Well, what do you care about? What are your...
Well, I think it's a wide range of things. But, and all these polling numbers that we see come out every day. But, what are your biggest issues going into this election? And more importantly, do you feel like candidates and the media are actually talking about what your issues are in a substantial way? Because sometimes I feel like they tell you what they think the issues are rather than actually reflecting back what you're saying your issues are. Well, the Main Street Agenda is trying to address that through a partnership between Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel and UW-Madison's La Follette School of Public Affairs. The Main Street Agenda is an election year project designed to provide information and civil conversations about the issues Wisconsin voters care most about. So you'll have a chance to go to a local one on October 15th. There's going to be a town hall in Milwaukee addressing Wisconsin's number one issue. Inflation. Ding, ding, ding. All right, but joining us now to tell us more about the project is Susan Yackey, who is a professor and director of the La Follette School of Public Affairs. Welcome to the show, Susan.
I'm delighted to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So was that a fair summary of what the Main Street Agenda is?
It's a great summary. Yeah, absolutely. I think, a lot of Wisconsinites see the horse race coverage of the election and kind of tune out, but they do care about the issues that matter to them. And the Main Street Agenda is designed to try to get them talking about the public policy issues that impact them and their communities.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the details that go into the project?
Absolutely. So we're doing 6 events across Wisconsin. This is a part of our La Follette School's outreach mission and kind of really trying to live this Wisconsin idea to kind of bring the university to the broader community. And we started in La Crosse, and we had a great event on sustainability and healthcare, which were issues that were identified by that community as important. Brought some faculty members to La Crosse and had a great community conversation there. And you already mentioned that was our first event. Our last event is going to be on October 15th in Milwaukee at the Clinton Rose Senior Center. That's going to be a town hall on inflation. If anybody's interested in attending that event, check out, just Google the La Follette School and Main Street, and you'll get some more details. So trapped in the middle there are 4 different community conversations, which I'd be happy to chat about.
Yeah, what were those community conversations?
Yeah, so we're kind of bookending these community conversations with open public events in La Crosse and Milwaukee. But in between our 4 events, we've had one already, 4 consecutive Wednesdays. So last Wednesday in Pewaukee, we brought together the La Follette School and the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel brought together 130 kind of representative Wisconsinites, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats. We had roundtable facilitated conversations where people got across the table from each other, from, somebody that was a different political party than them, to talk about the issues in advance of the election that matter to them. And again, 130 people were gathered in Pewaukee last week with 18 different facilitators. At the end, really amazing outputs. I mean, people that had never met each other were hugging, we're high-fiving, many people came up to me afterwards and said, this is what democracy ought to look like going forward.
Well, that's got to feel good. But because part of the Main Street Agenda is also that the La Follette School of Public Affairs, you do Wisconsin Says surveys, right?
That's right. So we are a participant with the UW Survey Center to try to do some polling of Wisconsinites. So again, a representative sample of Wisconsinites to find out what are the issues that matter to them. And we actually used some of that public policy polling to identify the topics that we talked about as part of our roundtable conversations. So in particular, the Pewaukee event spent a lot of time talking about K through 12 education, which was a topic that was identified by both kind of red Republicans in Wisconsin as well as blue Democrats in Wisconsin.
So, Susan, you said one of the participants said this is what democracy should look like. Through talking to all these people and seeing these surveys, why isn't it that way?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think, sometimes it's hard to have these conversations. You have to, put yourself out there, be a little bit vulnerable, maybe hear that you're thinking about something wrong or thinking about something incorrectly. And part of it is these community conversations. We're really clear at the La Follette School when we host these that we're not trying to change anyone's attitudes, opinions. We're trying to actually change people's minds. What we are trying to do is humanize the other side. And you really can't understand your own position on public policy issues until you understand what the other side thinks. And so partly it's to have kind of these in-depth conversations. And along the way, sometimes people's minds do change. They hear a story that made them think that they've thought about the issue wrong, or they didn't understand the human impact of a particular public policy topic on someone that might be different than them. And we're so ensconced in our media bubbles, in our neighborhoods that are homogenous and the same. We go to churches with people that are like us. We go to shows that people are like us. These community conversations across these 4 communities, so Pewaukee, Green Bay this Wednesday, Eau Claire the next Wednesday, and then Madison, are designed to try to break out of those bubbles and talk to people who are different than them.
As a researcher, Susan, between the information you get from the surveys, how is it different from the information you're getting from the events? And what are you learning from either?
Yeah, great question. So we are trying to, these are outreach events and research events for the La Folle School, and we are trying to learn, these kind of conversations, what makes them more impactful on people, how do they feel about polarization, about other political parties after having participated in some of these events. And so we are trying to learn some of those kind of more generalizable findings, and so that our impact isn't just with the people in the room to have these conversations, but instead we can then share out, white papers and short pieces of information with other nonprofit organizations that want to have dinner and conversation events to talk about the issues that matter, and hopefully have those events more informed by what worked in our events. And so we are trying to spread that knowledge, and that'll be a big output of these community conversation events.
So a lot of the issues that the meetings have covered, you can see where the divide would be. But coming up on the 15th, we're talking about inflation. I don't think if it doesn't matter you're Republican or Democrat, nobody's for inflation. So what do you think and what do you hope will come out of that discussion other than everybody just going, yeah, it sucks?
Yeah, I hope it'll be evidence-informed, right? So we're going to bring 2 different scholars to the October 15th event who are kind of steeped in both the macro politics of inflation as well as the consumer pocketbook finance part of inflation, right? So we're going to really have these 2 different looks at inflation from our faculty members. So my colleague Menzi Chen, who really thinks about kind of currency manipulation, trade, kind of the big macro drivers of inflation. And then my other colleague, Michael Collins, who thinks about, what kind of out-of-pocket expenses, how are those affected by inflation? And so I'm hoping that audience members, and it'll be also kind of an interactive format where there'll be a lot of ability to ask questions of my 2 La Folle faculty members. I hope that out of that we'll have kind of more information, more evidence. What are the trends, and what can we expect out of a Republican president or a Democratic president on the issue of inflation?
All right. Well, if that sounds interesting to you and you would like to attend the Milwaukee Town Hall on inflation, it's going to be on October 15th, 2024 from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Clinton Rose Senior Center. If you actually text AGENDA to 855-616-1620, we will send you the Eventbrite link that you can register there. Susan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Susan.
Delighted to be here.
Susan Yackey is a professor and director of the La Follette School of Public Affairs. Citing on Luna News Time, 146. It's spanning the state.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Rate Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, the Federal Reserve finally cut their overnight interest rate by 0.5%. But mortgage rates already had this cut baked in. Good news is AccuNet can deliver a 30-year fixed APR between 5.7% and 6.4% on a $260,000 30-year fixed rate loan with 25% down payment and all the other best attributes. The APR depends on how much you want to spend in closing costs and a lot of other factors. Now, will lower mortgage rates get more homeowners to list their homes for sale? Maybe a little, but it's almost certain more buyers will come off the sidelines, which is why you need a highly skilled AccuNet loan consultant more than ever, along with our rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to help get your offer accepted. It's also a good time to take a look at a genuine zero loan cost refi. Whatever you do, don't settle for a flimsy pre-approval or high closing costs from your bank or other lender. Click on the blue button today for a no-pressure refi checkup or to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
The Fox and Hound Supper Club in Hubertus is hiring servers, bussers, food runners, expo and barbacks, and cleaners. Make real money. It's perfect for high school and college students, parents, and grandparents. Tell your kids and start next week. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Any exterior remodeling company can give you a lot of good reasons to get a new roof, siding, windows and doors, or masonry work. Aesthetic appeal alone or just resale value help it all make sense. But I'm compelled to continue to tell you what sets Semper Fi apart from the rest. What you're going to get from Semper Fi is a reputation that is backed by an undeniable stack of proof that we are who we say we are. Our character is guided by a level of trust and accountability which not only holds our teams together, but also keeps our reputation intact. And ultimately, that means leaving you satisfied. So when you're about to make that big investment in your home, isn't that what you want? This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
When is the last time you paid less but got more in return? It happens every day if you or a loved one has Medicare Advantage. $0 copays and an average of $2,500 less out-of-pocket annually, but more benefits like dental, hearing, and vision. More prevention and screenings to keep people healthy. More care for less money. No wonder 33 million seniors choose Medicare Advantage. Visit MedicareAdvantageMajority.org to learn more. Paid for by Medicare Advantage Majority.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
It's spanning the state.
Smooth
I'm
jazz.
Brian
It's
Noonan.
the
Yeah,
smooth jazz hour.
I'm listening.
I think my blood pressure just lowered.
I'm just like, oh. I'm waiting for the lyrics to kick in. Spend all my nights. Anyway, yeah. I'm Brian Noonan.
I'm Kristen Fry.
All my mornings going out. Sorry.
Big shout out to one of WTMJ's partners, Just Between Friends. Actually, specifically, a shout out to Julia Fellow, who works with Just Between Friends, which is a huge biannual consignment sale for kids stuff.
Okay.
And I got to go.
Oh, that
so she
sounds
gave
good.
me, because Julie doesn't have kids, and so she was like, do you want tickets to this? And I go, absolutely.
Yes.
Because kids stuff is endless and expensive.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? You buy a kid something and think, oh, this is very nice. I bought you a special dress or a special outfit or even just regular shoes. And 6 weeks later, they don't fit.
I know.
You're like, stop growing.
Well, and I feel like it maybe slows down. I've been told it slows down a little bit. But you think about their first year. I mean, Frankie went from size newborn to now she's in 18 months, pushing 24 months because she's not small. And that's a lot of different size clothing for 1 year.
Well, figure you usually don't stop growing till you're in high school. So it does slow down, but you still keep going.
I know. And so I got free tickets, which was great.
That's
Thank you,
nice.
Julia. And it is an awesome event, I have to say. So it happens once in the spring, once in the fall.
Okay.
If you have kids or grandkids, I cannot recommend going to this thing enough, unless you're hoity-toity and don't do used clothing.
Like my brothers.
You told me that. Frankie lives in secondhand stuff because we are lucky enough that we have friends or my niece, a lot of girls in the family. So basically everything, after we got out of the new things that were bought for the baby shower.
Sure.
That kid doesn't wear anything now.
Right, and because most of the stuff that is a hand-me-down is barely worn anyway.
It's barely worn, and it's also just the fact that you're just going to get food or poop on it anyways, and so why are we spending $40 on
That's why I wear
something
hand-me-downs.
new? But yeah, I got a bag full of stuff, including snow pants, a snow coat, a pea coat, tons of 24-month stuff that she'll grow into for like $80.
Which is... That's a phenomenal price.
It's a steal.
Like, is it all... It's all divided. I saw some of the videos. It looks huge.
Wildly organized.
Okay.
So I know less about, because you can also offer to be the one selling stuff.
Oh.
But so when I knew it was parents also selling their stuff, I kind of had this vision of it being vendors, and you kind of would go from each location
like
and
garage
so what do you
sales,
have and what do you have? But it's you walk in, everything is organized by boys and girls, and then by the size of the clothes. There's also books and puzzles and electronics and shoes and art easels and running strollers. Like, there is everything you could probably want. And so we went on Sunday, so it was half off, but it was more picked over. I can only imagine what it's like and what kind of zoo it is on the first day when you first get there.
Did
and
it
it's more
start on
expensive
Friday
to go
or
on
Saturday?
So it starts on Thursday. There's like a pre-sale Thursdays,
okay.
and then it's Friday and it's Saturday. And I had asked the women at checkout, I was like, has it been crazy? They're like, oh yeah. And they were saying which days were the busiest. And then I had to ask, I was like, well, has there any been, like Black Friday type fights that have broken out between moms? And they say, no, everyone's been delightful.
Yeah, sure.
I'm
sure everybody was delightful.
But yeah, so that will now be a biannual thing that this family will be doing, is going to Just Between Friends.
So you said it's consignment. So the people, like if you, when Frankie grows a little more and you're getting rid of her younger kid stuff, they then cut you a check?
I think so. I think it's basically, I don't know exactly how it works as far as if you're like, I'm trying to sell my stuff, if you just drop it off and they have the barcodes to know how much of your stuff ends up being sold, that part TBD. I will report back.
I just, as you were telling me about this, I just kept thinking about all the stuff we had when Molly was a kid, because she was the first
so much
grandchild.
stuff. After 1 year, we have so much stuff, and so much stuff that's already sitting in the garage in storage.
And it just keeps coming and coming, and it's like, stop giving her things. Stop being nice.
Well, we're going to talk about that tomorrow, because Frankie's birthday's on Saturday, and no gifts.
What?
We're no gifts because we got enough stuff.
you, Mila Kunis?
So we're doing something else, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow.
All right.
All right. We're going to take a break for the top of the hour news, and when we come back, we will spin around the state on Spanning the State.
An election year brings a lot of different stressors. Don't let your finances be one of them. Join WTMJ's John McCure, along with Annex Wealth Management, in another free webinar. Expert panel will break down complex campaign promises and turn them into practical insights for your investments. Register for this free webinar by texting WEB to 855-616-1620. It's another webinar from Annex Wealth Management and WTMJ.
Macedonian pianist Simon Trpceski is the soloist in Rachmaninoff's brilliant and showy First Piano Concerto with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, September 27th through the 29th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Music director Ken David Mazur leads these concerts, which will open with Dobrinka Tabakova's homage to Renaissance opera and Greek myth Orpheus's Comet. The second half features Rimsky-Korsakov's evocative Scheherazade, which prominently features concertmaster Jin-Woo Lee as musical interpreter of the clever narrator of the 1001 Nights. Join the MSO for Scheherazade, Prophets and Heroines, September 27th through the 29th. Call the box office now for tickets at 414-291-7605 or online at mso.org.
Now your ideas do not have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do. Bring your ideas to life at Dell.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Hey there, Wisconsin. It's Dave from Feldco. The seasons are changing and cooler temps are on the way. Are your windows ready? Feldco's energy-efficient, American-made windows are specifically designed for the Midwestern elements. It's the perfect time to make valuable upgrades to your home that'll keep you warm, safe, and comfortable. Right now, buy one window and you'll get one free. Visit us at 4feldco.com for a free quote or just give us a call. You know the number.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4Feldco.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Is it time to replace the siding at your house? First off, you got to go to Tri-County Contracting. You can hit up their showroom in New Berlin to check out the vinyl siding and the LP Smart Side they have on display. They'll help you find that siding and the color that you will love. And if you're worried about price, don't forget about the 30-year no-faded paint warranty. Transform your house and increase the value. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
It's time for a Wisconsin Farmers Union Minute. Dairy farmers in Wisconsin and across the nation have experienced boom and bust price cycles for decades, triggered by an imbalance between supply and demand. When milk prices are high, farmers increase production to meet the demand. However, when prices are low, dairy farmers also increase production to help their bottom line, unintentionally flooding the market and driving prices down further. The wild price swings that result make it difficult to manage a business. But there is a better way. The Dairy Revitalization Plan is a growth management strategy that coordinates milk production growth among all dairy producers to stabilize and improve prices for everyone. Unlike quota, which is often viewed as overly restrictive, growth management offers a series of incentives and disincentives to better align milk production growth with demand growth. The Dairy Together Coalition of Farmers, Farm Groups, and dairy industry stakeholders is pushing this plan to be included in the upcoming Farm Bill. By implementing the Dairy Revitalization Plan, we can ensure that Wisconsin remains America's dairy land for generations to come. Learn more at dairytogether.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print everything for my business.
Sure can.
And the quality is guaranteed?
Absolutely.
Plus, you'll beat any price quote. Is that right?
For sure.
How about this one?
We'll beat it.
Can you print menus, signs, and flyers?
Sure can.
How about blueprints?
No problem.
What about red prints?
Not a real thing.
What if they were?
We'd print them, and they'd look amazing.
Now at Staples, print more, save more. Up to $150 off your print purchase. Ends 11/2. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details and staples.com/price match for in-store price match guarantee.
Debbie Laziga here for Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years. Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. This month only, get $1,000 off and 0 interest for 12 months on your Luckstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote, with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 2:01, it's 66 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee. I'm Julia Fellow. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Isolated showers are possible, low 57. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, chance of showers, mainly south, a high of 70. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Racine County Courthouse and Law Enforcement Center closed today because of a bomb threat. It came into the 911 center. It was an automated voice on the other end. We've just learned law enforcement officers and explosive canine teams continue to sweep the buildings but have not found anything concerning. A deadly hit and run and a shooting along the same street in Milwaukee Saturday night. 2 sisters were crossing 76th Street near Good Hope Road just before midnight when a vehicle traveling northbound struck them. A 20-year-old was thrown from 50 to 75 feet from the road and died of her injuries. And a 23-year-old was taken to Freighter Hospital, and the status of her injuries are unknown. The car fled the scene. Milwaukee police later located it and arrested the 34-year-old driver. And just over an hour later, at 1 o'clock in the morning, a 32-year-old was shot on the same block of 76th Street. That victim survived. The husband of a woman in Dodge County has been missing since June, is now facing criminal charges related to her disappearance. 43-year-old Zachariah Rash is now charged with first-degree intentional homicide and hiding a corpse. His wife, Crystal, was reported missing in June, and according to court records against Rash, he used Crystal's debit cards several times after her disappearance at stores around Dodge County. Sheriff's office says he purchased things like carpet cleaner, chemical-resistant gloves, and stain remover. Zachariah is said to be in court on October 3rd. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green. Dow is up 45, S&P 500 up 13, NASDAQ up 33. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Start with them. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:03.
Abby Windows.
Do you want to stay in your home as long as possible? Abby from Abby Home here. Let's put your safety first with our Abby Bath and Shower Systems. We can make your shower safe but stylish. Grab bars, stationary seats, easy to walk in shower options, all with a marble or tile look too. Right now, get 20% off your project and 0% financing for up to 24 months. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl. Go to myabbyhome.com today.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Fall Tool Sale is going on now. Shop our unbeatable selection and prices on great brands to help you tackle fall projects. Like 20-piece gear wrench ratcheting wrench sets, $35 off. Keep tools handy with a Milwaukee tool suspension rig, only $99.99. For automotive jobs, Centric brake pads, rotors, shoes, and drums are all 15% off. And we've worked with our brand partners to get prices down. So shop our new, lower everyday prices at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a call.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't look now, but the leaves are turning and fall is here. If there are still yard projects on your to-do list, WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here to tell you there is still time. Maybe you're looking to enhance your landscape with new plantings or bulbs, or perhaps you want to prepare for next spring with overseeding and aerating for your lawn. Try David J. Frank Landscape and enjoy fall to the fullest. Let them handle those end-of-season cleanups and winterize your yard. Get a free quote at davidjfrank.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Another game played without Jordan Love, and another win for the Packers.
Five-man pressure. Levis goes down again. Lucky number 7 for the Packers defense. 7 sacks in Nashville.
And it turned into an 8-sack, 3-turnover performance by the defense, complementing nearly a flawless performance from quarterback Malik Willis in a 30-14 road win over the Titans. It was fantastic. Packers return home to face the undefeated Vikings in Week 4. Brewers salvaged the final game of the 4-game series against the Diamondbacks, rallying from an 8-0 hole to earn a 10-9 win. The Brewers enjoy a day off before traveling to Pittsburgh for a 3-game series with the Pirates beginning tomorrow night. Take a look at your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. We have what's being called an incident in Milwaukee right now, right downtown. I-94 West at 84th Street. The right lane is blocked because of a disabled semi. The sheriff's office is trying to make room to help the driver, so people are having to get into a different lane. In Ozaukee County, I-43 North, right by County C, there's 2 right lanes blocked because of a really bad crash. And traffic is crawling right now on 4194th, about a mile from the Illinois state line. 2 right lanes are blocked due to repairs. It is stop and go right there. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, isolated showers late, a low of 57. Tomorrow, chance of showers, mainly south, high of 70. Wednesday, Thursday, really nice. Sunny, high of 75. Those are pick days. Friday, partly cloudy, a high of 74. Right now in Sheboygan, it's 69 degrees. Kenosha, 64. Madison, 66 degrees. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:07.
It's time to take a spin around Wisconsin and find stories you might have missed. Here's Spinning the State on Spanning the State with Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Yep, there's a lot of stories in Wisconsin. We picked a few that you might have missed. So let's get started, shall we? You ready?
Shall.
All right, Kristen.
Port Washington.
All right, Port Washington. There are a lot of questions in Port Washington over an unknown company that was making offers on farmland, then abruptly changed its mind. The unknown company was expected to produce semiconductors, and the Journal Sentinel reports that the company intended on building a massive factory on thousands of acres of Port Washington farmland. Now, according to city officials and landowners, the company has decided not to follow through with the purchase. The saga began in May when landowners in Port Washington received buying offers from a Milwaukee real estate company who negotiated contracts to purchase the town land for the company. The landowners were then kept in the dark on who was seeking their land, what would happen on the land, and how it would affect their community. At the end of August, landowners were informed that the still unknown company was looking elsewhere. The realtor told landowners that they were seeking other buyers for nearly 2,000 acres of farmland. Due to non-disclosure agreements, the Common Council is unable to give more details on the mystery company. Wouldn't you want to know who's buying it? Especially buying who's coming to town?
Right. Well, the Common Council must have known because they knew that they were going to have to annex some land if this happened, but I love the mystery of this. Some unknown, secretive semiconductor company.
And why is it a secret? It's not like are semiconductors that
I don't know.
Oh, we have to do this in the dark.
Yeah, and we can't tell anybody. And then to sell, I'll sell my land to who? I don't know. For what? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who are the landowners just saying, yeah, whatever, give me a check and you can do
why
whatever
did they
you
change
want.
their mind?
We don't know.
We'll never.
Where
we'll
are they
probably
going to
never
go?
know.
We will never know. Unsolved mystery. Where's Leonard Nimoy when you need him to get this figured out? Yes, another old
another one that just totally went over Rita and my head.
Very old reference. Look it up.
Milwaukee.
Oh man, I despise censorship. So I'm happy about this story. The ongoing national debate over banning books continues at a fever pitch. This week is Banned Book Week. Yes, this week it was created by the Banned Books Week Coalition, an international alliance of diverse organizations, joined by a commitment to increase awareness of the annual celebration of the freedom to read. The coalition seeks to engage various communities and inspire populations in Banned Books Week through education, advocacy, and the creation of programming about the problems of book censorship, the problem of book censorship. So as part of the celebration of the freedom to read, the Bandwagon Tour is on the road with a stop tomorrow at the Milwaukee Central Library. This year, the tour, powered by Penguin Random House, is partnering with Unite Against Book Bans, Little Free Library, and First Book to raise awareness about book censorship. So tomorrow and at every stop, the Bandwagon will distribute free copies of 20 banned or challenged books to attendees, including titles like I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, and The Color Purple by Alice Walker. Books will be distributed while supplies last, so that is tomorrow at the Milwaukee Central Library.
And while you're there, get your library card, because September is National Library Card Sign-Up Month.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take Frankie to go get hers.
I haven't had a library card in ages.
Get one. Go get one this week.
I know, but then I have to read. Then I'll be guilted into reading and go into the library. I used to go, back in the day, I used to go to the library for internet.
Yeah.
Because I am that old.
A lot of people still do have to
do
go
they really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They have.
If you don't,
if you don't have
it at home.
That's a great service of the library. All right, we've got time for one more, so let's spin that wheel.
Monroe.
All right, I love this story. And it's also a callback.
Yes, it is.
All right, thousands of people flocked to Monroe Saturday for the Greene County Cheese Days Festival. Very big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that we can go next year.
I would love to.
That's on our
do
bucket
that.
list. All right, but they weren't all there just to pay tribute and to celebrate delicious cheese. No. Many were there to help break a world record. The world's largest polka. Yes. Not only did Monroe beat the old record of 102 dancers set in Germany in 2013, Wisconsinites destroyed it. According to WPR, organizers said more than 4,000 people registered for the dance. On an 80-degree day at a little after 2 p.m., they started dancing. Madison's Stacey Harbaugh, also known as DJ Shotsky.
We know her.
Host of the radio show Polka Time, emceed the event. She got the idea for the record-breaking attempt over beers with friends in New Glarus. But as you might remember, back in April, DJ Shotsky was on our show when she came on to talk about the 30th anniversary of polka being Wisconsin state dance, which is from 1994 when then Governor Tommy Thompson signed polka into law as our state dance.
Well, congratulations.
4,000 polka.
That's
polkers?
amazing.
What's the noun of someone who...
Polka, yeah, I don't know.
Like
Polka dancers. I'm going to go with polka dancers.
This is what we're going to do at a commercial break.
Polka-ers, yeah, we'll look it up. But if you want more details on any of the stories we did today, text SPIN, S-P-I-N, to 855-616-1620. When we come back, we got a report card on Wisconsin's infrastructure. How did we do? Are we being held back? We'll find out after this on Spanning the State.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Planning for retirement is like planning a road trip. You wouldn't start a long journey without a map, right? The same goes for your financial future. Every retirement plan needs the right tools. Social Security is one of those critical tools. But did you know when and how you claim your benefits can dramatically affect your retirement income? At Drake & Associates, we'll help you navigate the twists and turns of Social Security. Our team can guide you on when to start collecting benefits to maximize your income. Don't leave your retirement journey to chance. Call us or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's SS to 414-409-9982. Let us help you map out a secure and enjoyable retirement.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
You love and care for your parents, and now it may be time to help them move forward to a new lifestyle tailored to who they are today. Hi, this is Jean Nemelvitz from Bruce's team. The thought of sorting through years of memories and treasures can stop you in your tracks, but our team has all the services you'll need to make the process smooth and easy. Our team is ready to take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. Give us a call at 262-242-6177 or visit brucesteam.com.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I'm Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan. Kristen, now I know you probably didn't get any of these in high school, but say you got a C+ in high school.
I never got a C+. I mean, maybe on a test, certainly not on a report card.
I know, but imagine if you did. Would you think you were doing good or bad?
No, I would be scared to go home.
All right. So think about now as you drive around Wisconsin, whether you're on the roads or bridge, or whether you're trying to access broadband, what grade would you give to Wisconsin's infrastructure? Well, the American Society of Civil Engineers has released their 2024 State Infrastructure Report Card, and Wisconsin got a C+.
Not failing.
No, but I'm wondering, is slightly above average good or not? I don't know. Ken Mika is one of the co-authors of the report. He joins us now to tell us, is Wisconsin getting held back from infrastructure? Ken, thanks for being here.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
So how often does the Society of Civil Engineers release these reports, and how did Wisconsin do last time?
So the American Society of Civil Engineers, we try to put out our state infrastructure report cards every 4 years, and as well as a national report card every 4 years. The last time Wisconsin released their report card was in 2020, and the last time the national report card was released was in 2021. For the state's infrastructure report card in 2020, the grade was a C, so we did see some improvement.
Okay.
Hey.
Some of the chapters did see increases. Unfortunately, we had a few decrease. But overall, the state's moving in the right direction, but that doesn't mean we're in a good spot. We still got ways to improve.
So what type of infrastructure is all included when you study this?
Sure. So we looked at 17 different chapters or 17 different areas of infrastructure, anywhere from airports to roads to bridges to transit to broadband to schools to public parks, drinking water, wastewater, hazardous waste, solid waste, stormwater, and a few others. So it's a very large effort. It took us over 50 volunteers, and this is all done by volunteers. Nobody's getting paid to do this work. When we just come together to try to inform our Wisconsinites, our family, friends, brothers, and sisters, what's going on with their infrastructure, where it's at, and where we could potentially improve.
So how do you determine the grade? Let's start with roads and bridges, just to narrow it down. How do you determine the grade that the roads and bridges get?
So it's every grade chapter has the same 8 grading criteria, and it involves both innovation, funding, resiliency, sustainability, and a few other categories. And we all look at all of them under those 8 categories, and from there we break it down based on that specific area. What kind of funding's going on. How much above, like for bridges, how many bridges need to get approved upon? How many have a critical critique of what's going on with our infrastructure?
So if Brian and I wanted to volunteer, you're like, you don't have the skill set to do this. No, thank you.
I can tell you where there's a lot of potholes, but that's about it.
Absolutely. Everybody knows where the potholes are, and we don't blame them because, and that's part of the factors that we factor in. We see across the state of Wisconsin for the roads, as an example, the Wisconsin DOT, most of their roads are the federally mandated roads or even state highways where they have to truly keep them up to the best abilities as possible because they're major thoroughways for moving people, moving goods. Many of the products that our farmers here are growing in Wisconsin or many of the manufacturing goods that we manufacture need to get out elsewhere. So, those roads are generally in really good condition. Where we struggle more is, on the local roads and trying to get them the funding the local municipalities and counties need to keep their roads up and running.
Now, Wisconsin was one of only 3 states to get a C+, and that's the highest grade.
So no curve was used.
No curve, C+. How does that, other than that, how does Wisconsin compare with other states?
So outside of that, we'll look at the overall grades. Wisconsin is one of the top 3 states with a C+. But generally speaking, we don't really look at the individual chapters and compare state by state because every state's set up differently based on the geopoliticalness of that state, the different funding mechanisms that are going on. Wisconsin, we're the first state to actually have a broadband chapter. No other state has done this before. But that's because we have the Public Service Commission in place that helps watch out for, the Wisconsinites for whether it's energy, broadband, water. They're doing a great job. They collect the data, and that's how we're able to report on this. If we didn't have the Public Service Commission, there would be many things we wouldn't be able to report on.
So what do you attribute the slight increase from a C to a C plus to? As far as, is it because of the infrastructure bill? Is it because of some different funding that came through? But what do you attribute that to?
So I would say first and foremost, there's a big hand of it is the infrastructure bill. Okay. Now, at this point, the infrastructure bill came out in November of 2021. Some of the funding has actually come through and actually been put in place for construction projects, but there's still a lot of that funding that has not gone to construction yet just because it takes so long to put that much money through the door.
Got it.
And so, if in 4 years, when the next report card comes out, we'd be seeing what the true investment was and how the grades have truly improved. But the other aspect is, we're seeing an uptick in Wisconsin's legislature wanting to do more. We've seen, different goals with the Public Service Commission and wanting to have everyone to have broadband access by 2030. So seeing those ambitious goals and thinking about the future is what helps increase our grades. The other areas where we're seeing increases as well, especially on solid waste and hazardous waste, many of those projects, while they are overseen by the DNR from a regulatory stance, a lot of that involves private companies that are actually doing the work, that are funding the projects. And so that's, that public-private partnership has been very successful in Wisconsin.
And looking around the state, Ken, where do we need the most improvement? Which of the chapters is the one you go, we gotta bring this one up?
In addition, a lot of times with our different infrastructure programs, we want to see, more user-based. And, with transit, if it being so user-based, the side effect is that if the numbers are dropping, so is the funding that goes into them. So we need to figure out a better way to do that.
To end on a high note, what are we great at?
Right now, some of our greater chapters involve the ports. There's a lot of private-public partnerships there with our ports here in Wisconsin. Solid and waste, hazardous waste are other areas, rails another area. So truly where we see the improvement is those areas that, there's both a private and public partnership involved, working hand in hand.
Well, Ken, real quick before we let you go, our producer this morning said, is there ever a chance that some state will get an A?
Is there ever a chance? It's hard to see that at this point right now based on what goes on in the politicalness of infrastructure. We, American Society of Civil Engineers, we're a nonprofit organization. We try to stay out of politics.
Sure.
But we also know that there's a lot of politics involved when it comes to public funding of infrastructure.
Yeah.
Well, Ken, we appreciate you coming on, sharing the grades, and as long as we're a little above average, we'll take that. It's a participation award, but we'll take it. It's looking good. Ken Mika is the co-author of the new study released by the American Society of Civil Engineers. Ken, we appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it as well.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, C plus wouldn't be the...
But it sounds like if it was graded on a curve... We'd be at the top of the list.
Sure, because there's only 2 other states. And there was one, I can't remember what chapter. One of them went from a C to a D. So that one chapter really...
But he also made it sound like it's apples and oranges, and so we can't compare ourselves to other states.
That's true. But, and also, there are no A's. We do not live in a utopian world where everything is wonderful.
We're developing. Isn't that the new words that they want to use for changing grades to different... Have you heard this story?
No.
So basically, there's there's some experimentation with what grades you call things.
Yes.
And so it's like meeting expectations, exceeding expectations, like room for development instead of just like failing. And there's some people who are not a fan of that. Because it's making 2 people too soft.
Well, I don't know. You also have to know where you stand. It's like I'm developing into what? From what? Were you really, really bad and now you're only kind of bad? That's not good. That's, bad. All right, we've got more to discuss, and we'll break down the semantics of education after this on Spanning the State.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
When you did the impressions of Coach Alvarez, which I love doing on the radio with the state now.
See the world from his perspective.
When Barry would get really mad or very frustrated, his voice goes up 15 octaves.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
Come on, we got guys over at the towers not paying attention.
Mark Tauscher, presented by Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Rate Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, the Federal Reserve finally cut their overnight interest rate by 0.5%. But mortgage rates already had this cut baked in. Good news is AccuNet can deliver a 30-year fixed APR between 5.7% and 6.4% on a $260,000 30-year fixed rate loan with 25% down payment and all the other best attributes. The APR depends on how much you want to spend in closing costs and a lot of other factors. Now, will lower mortgage rates get more homeowners to list their homes for sale? Maybe a little, but it's almost certain more buyers will come off the sidelines, which is why you need a highly skilled AccuNet loan consultant more than ever, along with our rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to help get your offer accepted. It's also a good time to take a look at a genuine zero loan cost refi. Whatever you do, don't settle for a flimsy pre-approval or high closing costs from your bank or other lender. Click on the blue button today for a no-pressure refi checkup or to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right. at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
It's Spanning the State. I'm Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan. Kristen, if I told you that Sprecher Brewery was going nationwide, why would you think they would be going nationwide? What would drive that?
With that, I think root beer.
Oh, you are on the right track.
Okay. I always think of Sprecher root beer before I think of anything else these days.
I have Sprecher root beer in my refrigerator.
It's delicious.
I love it. My mom loves it. We all love it. But you're on the right track. They are not going nationwide for their beer distribution. It's for their pop. So it's root beers, it's their other kind of beers, and it's the non-alcoholic stuff. So they are producing...
Do they have a lot of NA, like beers, or you mean just soda?
No, it's different kinds of soda. They have 120,000 barrels of soda. Roughly 50 million bottles a year is what they send out. They've got energy drink, Juvie. They've got O2 Hydration, which is just a hot water, I guess. They also own lemonade.
The water?
It's
fancy water?
You got water in a can, water in a box. So congratulations, Sprecher. I'll keep drinking the root beer, and I guess I'll drink my own water.
ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. Ryan Ruth will remain behind bars for the time being. The suspect in a second apparent assassination attempt of former President Trump was in court today where new evidence was presented.
The FBI says that they were contacted by a witness 3 days after the suspect was arrested, who said that several months prior to that arrest, they had received a box that included things like ammunition, metal pipes, and then a host of letters, including this letter that basically he apologizes for failing in an assassination attempt on Donald Trump.
ABC's Alex Mallon. New data from the FBI finds murders are down more than 11% nationwide. At least 350 people are dead and more than 1,000 have been hurt as the IDF carries out airstrikes on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. President Biden will give what is being described as his farewell address to the United Nations General Assembly tomorrow. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 2:31. I'm Julia Fellow, your top story. Racine County Courthouse and Law Enforcement Center closed after a bomb threat today. A 911 call center got an automated voice on the other end, and law enforcement officers and explosive K-9 teams took this seriously. They're sweeping the buildings, have not found anything concerning. Sheriff's office says there's no known future threats to the public. All county buildings and agencies expected to open as usual tomorrow. The husband of a woman of Dodge County has been missing since June is now facing criminal charges related to her disappearance. 43-year-old Zachariah Rash is now charged with first-degree intentional homicide and hiding a corpse. His wife, Crystal, was reported missing in June. According to the criminal complaint against Rash, he used Crystal's debit card several times during her disappearance at stores around Dodge County. Sheriff's office points out he purchased things like carpet cleaner, chemical-resistant gloves, and stain remover while his wife was missing. Zachariah is now set to be in court next month. Time for news about your month in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything's still in the green. Dow up 55, S&P 500 up 15, NASDAQ up 35. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Take a look at your traffic with your WTMJ Johnson Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. I-94 East, this just popped up from Mitchell Boulevard. The left lane is blocked because a crash just happened. Traffic still crawling at 4194 North, about a mile from the Illinois state line. 2 right lanes blocked on 94 North because there's repairs going and it's stop and go. Whole bunch of semis. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Isolated showers late, a low of 57. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Chance of showers, mainly south, high of 70. Wednesday and Thursday, so sunny. Pick days, both days, high of 75. Friday, partly cloudy, a high of 74. In Sheboygan, it's 69 degrees. In Kenosha, it's 64 degrees. And in Milwaukee, it's 66 degrees. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:33.
Wisconsin, it's game time. Heiser's touchdown savings are here, and these deals are a total crowd pleaser. Score big with Heiser's 5-star lineup. We have Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Cadillac, and Lincoln. Plus, our service centers and body shops are ready to keep your ride playing at MVP level. With our exclusive Safe and Sound program, you'll hit the road with peace of mind, prepped for all of your fall adventures. So don't drop the ball on these deals. Visit Heiser.com today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's fall tool sale is going on now. Shop our unbeatable selection and prices on great brands to help you tackle fall projects. Like 192-piece DeWalt Mechanics tool set, $110 off. Get organized with a 16-inch Performance Tool Power Tool storage rack, just $19.99. Stay safe with Kidde smoke and fire detection products, 15% off. And we've worked with our brand partners to get prices down. So shop our new, lower everyday prices at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
The Fox exclusive cruise sale with Royal Caribbean is going on now. Daring first and thrilling adventures are as plentiful as elegant moments and stress-melting relaxation when you sail with Royal Caribbean. Fox World Travel offers exclusive cruise prices you won't find with any other local travel agency. Plus, for a limited time, receive free specialty dining on select cruises. Let a Fox World Travel cruise expert save you from the daunting task of choosing from ships, ports, and staterooms. And visit foxworldtravel.com to plan your next cruise.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Nagging pain lasting for months, difficulty performing everyday tasks, not moving like you'd like, it's time to see the doctor. And I recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Anytime I've needed care, the appointments are timely, no waiting weeks to be seen, and no pressure to have surgery. It's about getting the right diagnosis and choosing a treatment plan that fits your life. No question where I turn if I'm injured again. The experts in care at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's orthowisconsin.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Hey, guess what? We're inviting you to participate in the WTMJ Fall 2024 Fan Survey. Takes less than 10 minutes to complete, and we want your feedback. Well, we do, really. We want your feedback. To participate, simply text the word survey to the WTMJ Talk and Text line at 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. We'll send a survey link right back to you. And as a thank you for your participation, upon completion of the survey, you'll be entered to win a package that includes $2 2024-25 regular season game tickets and an overnight stay at the Pfister. So text survey. Kristen, if I said to you, what do you think of when I mentioned Green Bay?
Just turn my mic on. Packers, obviously, is the first thing. I think now I think Titletown, like the area, the development area around Lambeau. I think the roller coaster.
Okay. So you got three. Three's about it? It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Well, most of us are proud of our hometowns or adopted cities and love to tell visitors about great things to do. But does your hometown pride allow you to come up with 100 things for folks to love? Sarah Connery is a Midwest travel and lifestyle blogger who has written about Green Bay many times on her website, creativeandambitious.com. Now she's written 100 Things to Do in Green Bay Before You Die, a book dedicated to all things Green Bay. She's with us now to share some of these things, so maybe we can start exploring. Sarah, welcome. Glad you're here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, you know, you went to college in Green Bay. It's a fine city. We think about the Packers. What was the impetus to write a book about 100 Things to Do after you've written about Green Bay a lot?
Yeah, so I moved to Green Bay in 2015, so I've lived in the area about 9 years. I love writing about Green Bay, and there are just so many cool local businesses and cool things to do. And I knew I had always wanted to write a book about Green Bay, but I didn't quite know when. It was like a someday goal. And I just wanted to be a local expert on Green Bay since it's, you know, where I live. So
I love that.
Yeah.
So if you, as someone who loves Green Bay, what do you think is the biggest misconception people have about Green Bay?
The biggest one is that you should only come for Packer weekend.
Okay.
I feel like there's so much more to Green Bay, and a lot of people miss out. Yes, come to Packer games, but also stay a while. Check out other things in the area.
So as you were looking around to compile this list, what criteria did you use for something to make the list as opposed to, this is all right, but not one of the top 100?
It was incredibly hard to choose 100 things, only because when you really start breaking it down of like what we have in the area, there's so many local businesses and local people doing great things. So having to choose that was the hardest part of the entire book. Forget writing it, like choosing what went in the book was the hardest. I definitely had some criteria, like geographically choosing things that were either directly in Green Bay within like a few miles each direction driving, but then I did choose some that were on the outskirts that were worth the drive. So something super unique to the area. I tried to focus on businesses founded in Green Bay, or that have like an iconic, cool story behind them. I really tried to feature things that were uniquely Green Bay.
And so are all the things on the list like something you can actively go do or consume, or everything's activity based?
Yeah, so everything is set up in the book like it has the destination or the place that you're supposed to go to, but it'll have a description. So like one of them is eat at Al's Hamburgers. So you're eating burgers at Al's Hamburgers kind of thing.
That sounds all right. All right, so what's number one on the list?
So thankfully I didn't have to rank them 1 to 100 because this could have taken me years to write. If I had to rank them, I'd be sitting by myself in a room for weeks trying to choose between what went in 3 and what went for 15.
Well, what was
thankfully I didn't have to do that.
When you started the book, there had to be one that you went, well, this is a no-brainer. Here's the first one on the list.
Oh, see, and that was even hard because I had a whole list of places that I was like, these are things in Green Bay that deserve to be in this book. So since I moved down here, was trying to find cool things and, new places that I hadn't been. So I feel like over the past 9 years, I've really tried to make it to everything. So anytime someone would recommend something to me, I'd write it down on a list. So I kind of had a running list before I even thought about writing this book of places that had been recommended, places that I went. So it was hard. Thankfully, the book is split into like 5 sections. So there's like a food and drink, arts and entertainment, shopping and fashion, culture and history, and sports and recreation. So they're all broken up into 5 different categories. So then after that, it was easier to kind of select what went in what categories.
That makes sense.
What is your best hidden gem, deepest cut? Like, what is the thing in the book that most people, even listening, who are in Green Bay right now, are like, I haven't even heard of that?
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like the culture and history section was probably my favorite part to write, just because not growing up in Green Bay, there were a lot of things that I didn't know as someone who moved and just kind of started my life here. But one of them was the Hazelwood Historic House. It is a beautiful home that has been kind of turned into a museum where there are all these different facts about Green Bay when it was first settled. So I learned so much about Green Bay there. And when I talk to a lot of people locally, they've heard of it, but they haven't visited, so they haven't experienced it. So that for me is something that I really want people to check out in Green Bay.
That's very cool. Now you have 100. What was the one that didn't make the cut? It would have been 101 on your list.
Oh. So I actually was very strategic in adding as many as possible as I could in the book. So there are different pages that will have a whole list. So it'll highlight one brewery that you have to go to, and then it'll give you a list of the other ones in the area.
So you cheated. So there's way more than 100 things to do in this book.
As many things. There's about 176 things in the book. I put as many as I could because I wanted each place to have their little moment. If I could put them in there, I definitely added.
All right.
Well, I'm excited for you because you should get this on the distribution list for the NFL when the draft is there next year. So all those people descending onto Green Bay have more things to do than just go to the draft.
I'm really hoping that I can get on that list.
There you go.
Well, how can we find the book?
The book is available online in bookstores. You can find it in Barnes & Noble. You can get it on my website directly, and I'll send you a signed copy.
Oh, there you go.
So creativeandambitious.com. if you order from there, you get a signed copy. But otherwise, it's everywhere.
Very nice. CreativeAndAmbitious.com is the website. 100 Things to Do in Green Bay Before You Die. Sarah Connery is the author. Sarah, thanks for being here. Now, with 176, I'm not going to have any time to do anything else. I have to be exploring Green Bay nonstop. Thanks for joining us, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
Take care. All right, now, we've heard Sarah, obviously in love with Green Bay. What if I were coming to your hometown? What are the top few things you would tell me to do? 855-616-1620. Kristen's going to give some Milwaukee. I'll give a few from Chicago. And we want to hear from you, though. I don't know where you live. What should I do if I come to your town other than, scare the neighbors? We'll do that and more. It's Spanning the State.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. As the largest lighting supplier to new home builders and decorators in Wisconsin, our huge showroom displays all the finest brands of lighting and ceiling fans, including such top brands as Visual Comfort, Tech, and many more. And our expert staff will assist you in making the right selections. Our prices are always the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We're located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Parents and grandparents, have your kid's birthday party at the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford or Oshkosh. The party rooms are free, and they'll love the massive game room and pizza with no cooking or cleanup. Book your birthday party at mineshaftRestaurant.com.
When you have a stuffy nose, life can be a bit unpleasant. Some live every day with a stuffy nose, and that can make life downright miserable. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent, where we are committed to eliminating your nasal breathing problems with simple in-office procedures like balloon sinuplasty, which requires no surgical cuts, little to no downtime, and can have you breathing better in less than 30 minutes. At Advent, we understand your inability to breathe freely limits your quality of life, and that's why we continue to pioneer the most advanced in-office procedures that have made our practice a global destination for those seeking to live their highest quality of life. Visit AdventKnows.com to see if you're a candidate for the balloon sinuplasty procedure. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
It's Spanning the State. I'm Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan. Okay, so Kristen, if I'm coming to now, I of course know a lot of things in Milwaukee, but I don't have the insider track that you have. If I'm coming to Milwaukee, give me just 3 to 5 things I should do if I'm going to be here for, say, a weekend.
I would say, I'm trying to think of one, because there's obvious ones, right? There's a lot to do here. So
yes,
whether it's a tailgate at for a Brewers game, or being in the Deer District for a Bucks game. But I would say something that you can do any time of year that is a little bit of a deep cut is getting a cocktail at either Bryant's or at Random, which are two kind of old school bars that make like it's like the Grasshoppers, the classic man. It's like they're cocktail bars where it's like specialty mixologist,
Well, I
but
like
the
that.
vibe and the decor is like out of like the 1950s.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say that's a really as far as, but you could also do the I've done this once, the ghost tour at Shakers, which is the cigar bar.
I've talked to them a couple times about that.
Yeah, I mean it's also a fun spot just as like a spot to get it's one of the few places you can smoke a cigar inside. But they also have they're kind of haunted.
Don't they have that haunted apartment you can rent like an Airbnb
you can
upstairs?
sleep in there for the night. Yeah, and so I have a lot more than that, but I want to also make some time for people to let us know.
Yes.
What they're as on the thing you have to do before you die in your hometown.
At 855-616-1620, somebody from Economawalk says, go downtown for a walk around Fowler Lake and then stop at Fiesta Cancun for a margarita and fajitas.
Nice.
Right, those both sound good.
I would not think of Economawalk as a spot for fajitas and margaritas, but I'm glad that it exists.
Well, after a long walk around the lake, you gotta refuel yourself a little bit.
What's your hidden gem in Chicago?
Boy, I don't know about hidden gems because a lot of the stuff that, as I was thinking about this, I would say anybody visiting Chicago, and the problem, and it's kind of in Milwaukee, there's so much area. So I'm going to limit this to right downtown.
Okay.
If you're staying downtown, 100%, you
Don't
got
say
to
the
take.
bean.
You got to take the river architecture tour. And I say that having not taken it till about 6 years ago, and I was like, why have I never taken this before? It's phenomenal. You go down the Chicago River, then you go up the North and South Branch, and they talk about the architecture there is phenomenal. It's kind of like what people experience when they go to Open Door Milwaukee. You walk in, you see these buildings, it's like, holy cow, this is great. So I'd go there. Then I would pop over to Three Dots and a Dash for some tropical drinks.
Oh, okay.
Unbelievable tiki bar, very a shishi tiki bar, but still very authentic, and the drinks are phenomenal.
And you only can have like two. Three are on the floor.
Well, yeah, but maybe that's your goal. But yes, you're correct. They're very strong. They're very good. So I'd take the river cruise. Then, if I was feeling, you got to walk down Michigan Avenue, the Magnificent Mile, just to see the shopping and things. But it's all landscaped beautifully, and you're only a couple blocks west of the lake. So if, say, you made it up to the water tower, you turn right, you go a couple blocks over, you're right on Lake Michigan. And I know in Milwaukee, Lake Michigan is here too. So maybe you're from somewhere that doesn't have a lake. Then for dinner, I would probably go to the Viagra Triangle. And,
wait, is that the real name?
Well, that's what it's called. No, it's not the name of the restaurant. It's a little region where there were a lot of bars where older gentlemen tend to be with younger women.
Okay.
What? Yes, and I would go to Gibson's for an unbelievable steak dinner.
Isn't Gibson's the place that's in the league?
In the
show, The League, that was about fantasy football.
I don't know. I never saw the show.
Gibson's. Why does Gibson's rings a bell with me for some reason?
Okay. Well,
another one I would add to Milwaukee is Kaz's Mini Bowling, because I haven't actually done that yet. That's still on my bucket list of stuff I haven't done in Milwaukee.
That sounds
but
like
it is
fun.
apparently like a staple thing to do here.
Somebody from Milwaukee says they always tell people they need to go to the Safe House. I have heard about the Safe House my entire life.
You've never gone?
I have never been. One, I'm bad with directions.
It's fun.
You do have to go down an alley, right?
Yeah, you go down an alley.
Secret door.
There's a password. It's also connected in a secret way to the newsroom, which is like the classic. It's where like Milwaukee Press Club has their meetings and stuff. And if you go in, it has a lot of memorabilia and nostalgia as far as journalism in Milwaukee, and
nice.
both are very cool.
Well, then piggybacking on that, if you're into journalism, you got to go to the original Billy Goat, which is
I didn't do it when I was in Chicago. I didn't have time.
Oh, it's Lower Michigan, right under the old Tribune building, and there's journalism history all over the walls there.
That's so cool.
It's very cool, and it's a dive. All right, well, those are some of the things you could do in our city. Thank you for the ones you would do in yours. We'll come back and wrap it up. It's Spanning the State.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever, overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Happy fall! WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress. Built Right's 96th anniversary mattress celebration on now. Their one location saves you time and money, and they make it easy to shop and easy to buy. Built Right beats any big box, national, or local chain store, department store,